Have you ever wondered what really lights the spark of a revolution? What is it that pushes ordinary people to take extraordinary risks? To stand up and demand change, even when the odds seem impossible? Sure, history books talk about great leaders and famous battles, about speeches that echo through time and moments that change the world. But there's another force that's been quietly fueling uprisings for centuries. Taxes. Yes, taxes. Not the most glamorous topic, but one that's been at the heart of some of the world's most dramatic upheavals. Think about it. Taxes are something we all have to deal with, a part of everyday life that most of us grumble about but rarely see as revolutionary fuel. Yet, when taxes become unfair, when they feel like a heavy weight pressing down on people who are already struggling, they can ignite a fire that's hard to put out. Let's zoom out and take a closer look. Imagine you're living under a government that keeps raising taxes, squeezing every last coin out of ordinary people, while the same government ignores your struggles, your needs, and your voice. The rich and powerful seem untouched, while you and your neighbors are left to carry the burden. There are no new roads, no improvements in your neighborhood, no help during hard times, just a heavier and heavier burden on your shoulders. The services you're supposed to get in return for your taxes, nowhere to be found. Over time, resentment starts to boil. It simmers quietly at first, a sense of unfairness that grows with every new tax bill, every pothole, every broken promise. People grumble in marketplaces, complain to their neighbors, and soon those whispers turn into shouts. The frustration spreads, connecting people who might never have spoken before, uniting them in a common cause. Take, for example, the French Revolution. It didn't start overnight. It was years in the making, fueled by a tax system that punished the poor and protected the rich. For years, the French monarchy raised taxes on peasants and workers, while the wealthy elite, the aristocrats and the clergy, barely paid a thing. The gap between rich and poor grew wider and wider until it was impossible to ignore. Bread prices soared, taxes rose, and the streets filled with angry crowds. People waited in long lines just to buy food, while the elite feasted in their palaces. It wasn't just about hunger. It was about feeling powerless and unheard. It was about the sense that the system was rigged against you, that your hard work was being taken for granted. Or look at the Boston Tea Party in America. Another famous moment, another story of taxes gone too far. British taxes on tea, without any say in Parliament, pushed colonists from grumbling to action. They dumped entire crates of tea into Boston Harbor, making a statement that would echo around the world. It was a protest, sure, but it was also a message. Enough is enough. People were tired of being taxed without representation, tired of being ignored by those in power. History repeats itself in all corners of the world, from Europe to Asia, from Africa to the Americas. Unfair taxes have sparked protests, uprisings, and revolutions. When taxes become unfair, when governments stop listening, people don't just get upset. They organize. They come together, share their stories, and find strength in numbers. Protests break out. People take to the streets, marching side by side, demanding to be heard. What starts as a few voices can quickly become a roar. And if nothing changes, if those in power refuse to listen, those protests can become full-blown revolutions. The world has seen it happen time and time again. It's not just about the money, it's about something deeper. About fairness, about being treated with respect, about having a say in your own future. It's about respect, dignity, and having a voice. When people feel squeezed by unfair taxes, they realize their government has stopped serving them, and that's when everything changes. When the system feels rigged, when the burden becomes too much, people start to push back. They confront officials, demand answers, and sometimes they refuse to pay altogether. So next time you hear about a protest or a revolution, remember, it might have all started with a simple question. Why are we paying so much? Why are we being asked to give more while getting less in return? Because throughout history, when the burden of taxes grows too heavy, ordinary people find extraordinary courage. They stand up, speak out, and sometimes they change the course of history. And sometimes that's all it takes to change the world. A spark, a question, a refusal to accept the unacceptable. And suddenly, the world is never the same again.